Hey Run Junkies, welcome back to Star Wars Rival Run Virtual Challenge Training Week 10. At the end of this week, we are halfway through the training plan. So it is Monday, February 1st. It is a new week, it's a new month, and I am coming into this with a fresh new attitude. So please like and subscribe. Let's get it done this week. Just a quick recap coming into this week. Last week was really challenging for me, but everybody's back home. My son came home Friday, my husband and my dog came home on Sunday. Everybody's back. We had dinner together, we watched TV together. It felt really good just to have everybody back home. Life is getting back to normal. However, I'm looking at this training plan, and this is about the time in any training plan that I just start getting sick of it and I start getting bored. And the same is true with this one. Once we hit that halfway mark, it doesn't matter if it's a 12-week training plan or a 24-week training plan. Every time I get to the halfway mark, I'm bored, I'm over it, I wanna do something else. And that's what I'm doing this week. I feel like all I'm doing is running, which is kind of a recipe for disaster, even with this low heart rate base building. That's what I'm gonna do this week, and I will tell you a little bit about that, but I gotta get on the treadmill for a 75-minute pickups on steroids, but that may change. We'll see what happens. Good morning, Tuesday, February 2nd. It is a glorious morning, and I'm actually outside. I haven't been able to say that for a while. I'm out for a 3-mile walk today. Tuesday and Thursday in this training plan have historically been a 60-minute recovery run under 120 beats per minute, or take the day off. Whatever you do on one day, you do the opposite on the other day. Well, I have kind of discovered that there's a whole lot of running in this training plan and not a lot of room for anything else. So what I've done is taken that Tuesday, Thursday recovery run, I've just gotten rid of it. And I'm adding in a 3-mile walk on both days. So it still gets me outside, or it still gets me moving, but without the impact and without the time commitment required for the warm-up and cool down. It allows for a lot more flexibility. It still gets me moving. And this is one of the adaptations that I'm making for this training plan, just to keep it fresh. Nico, hi. All right, good morning. It is Wednesday the 3rd, I think, and I'm out for a free run with Surges. This is the first time I'm actually doing this run outside. It's been cold or otherwise inclement weather, or circumstances have forced me back into the treadmill, but this time I get to go outside. It's going to be a glorious day. It has been absolutely beautiful weather here. Hi. Okay, this is the kind of day where you're like, you look out the window and it's like, oh, it's beautiful blue sky. I should go out and go for a lunchtime walk. And then you get outside and you're like, no, this is actually windy and cold, and I can feel the snow coming in off the mountains. And you're like, okay, I really should turn around right now. But you don't, because you think, okay, no, I'm tougher than this. I can do this. I can get 3 miles of walking in. This is fine. It'll be fine. And it never gets fine. It's not fine at all. All right, it is Thursday afternoon, and I did get out for a walk today, but I failed to pay attention to what was happening with the weather. Beautiful, glorious day. I mean, look at that sky. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? But it's not even 40 degrees, and we're getting 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and I decided I'd go out in it. So walk outside. I've got the dog, who was actually fighting me on this. Yeah, I went to go leash him up. He's like, no. So I got him out the door, and then I have to admit, he was right. He had the right idea. All right, good morning. It is Friday the 5th, and I have a 75-minute build engine run on the plan today. And here is what that means, because that's this week's workout of the week. We have something called the build engine run. Now, this one's fairly simple. not much to it, but now we're up to 75 minutes on a weekday run. This is gonna be Friday morning. The entire 75 minutes is under 130 beats per minute. So it's very similar in that in the recovery run, which is under 120 beats per minute, we're going just slightly a little bit harder than that, but not by much. It's really that simple. Now the build engine run I've seen on other plans, and I kind of like this workout, but I've seen it much shorter, 30 minutes tops. I think when I was training for the Dopey Challenge. So 75 minutes is a very long workout. I look at 75 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I think, oh, how am I gonna get that in? So this is one of those situations in kind of my reinvention of this training plan where I can say, you know what, 47 minutes. You get to 47 minutes, you can declare victory, because it is such a long and boring workout. Actually, I find that the 75 minutes just kind of gets boring, especially if you're doing it on the treadmill. I'm running late, I've got to get on the treadmill and get going and get this workout in. 47 minutes minimum, 75 minutes maximum. We'll see where we end up. I also have to say I have declared victory here because I am on the treadmill, and instead of watching something on my phone, I've got, that's Estrella, that's Fairy Tale Runner, but I've got YouTube up there, but in my AirPods. I'm actually really excited about this. All right, Saturday morning long run. Okay, so the warm up definitely did its job. I was almost hot before I left the house. It is about not quite 30 degrees, sun's not quite up. And this is one of the challenges for running in the wintertime here. It's gonna be a blue Colorado sky today, so an hour after the sun comes up, we're gonna get some good warming. So it's hard to figure out how to dress when you get up and it's the coldest it's gonna be all day, and then it's just gonna get warmer from there. Like, how do you layer? I still haven't figured that out. I think I do. Every once in a while, I think I nail it. But last couple of weeks of my long runs, I haven't nailed it. All right, I'm just about an hour into my long run. I feel good, but my heart rate's not telling me that. I feel like I'm just plugging along at a nice easy pace and my heart rate's like, woo girl, what are you doing? That's fine. Given that I did not do my long run last weekend, I'm declaring victory regardless of the data. Because like 2 weeks ago, I had an awful run. I was on the struggle bus, and yes, that's a thing. And I'm glad that somebody pointed out that you enjoy that particular phrase. I was on the struggle bus 2 weeks ago. Last week, it was so bad I didn't even get out for my run. This week, I'm out, and I'm doing the thing, and I feel pretty good, and I don't care about the data right now, because I know tomorrow's going to be a pseudo rest day. I'm gonna try to get a walk in, but I'm out, and it's beautiful, and there's the sun. Let's do this thing. It's all over but the shouting, and I have to say that this was one of the best long runs I've had probably this whole training cycle. It was a good run. Finishing off with 5-minute walking cool down. I'm gonna declare victory today. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna clean up, have some breakfast, and close it out for you. Check in with you in a minute. Okay guys, I have been trying to explain some of the adaptations that I've made to this training plan all week long, and none of it makes any sense. It makes sense up here, okay? But getting it out to you,
doesn't at all. So let me just say that I completely respect and admire the coach that built this plan, Coach Mary-Katherine Fleming. The excellent half marathon plan is in the description below if you want to see what that is. I have made a lot of changes to this plan. I have taken out that recovery run or off. I've replaced it with some other kind of cross training. More often than not, it's going to be a walk for a while. I have given myself a minimum then of the remaining 3 weekday runs. I have a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday run. There is a maximum of 60 to 75 minutes, particularly this week. However, I'm allowing myself a minimum to at least hit that target, and it's about half that. I can just hit that target first, then I feel like I can declare victory and I can still support that long run on the weekend. So those are just a couple of the ways that I have adapted this training plan to fit where I am right now in this running journey and my goals. Guys, I'm not gonna be training for a Star Wars Rival Run for speed. I'd like to build up some speed, but I'm also losing strength in other areas that I want to rebuild. And so this is a really good time with very few races on the calendar. This is a great time to do that. So that's where I'm sitting this week. And I do have to thank all of you for supporting me during those dark days last week. It really was a challenge, and you guys rallied behind me, and I can't thank you. Just when I think I'm whispering in a crowded room, I hear you, and it just warms my heart to know that you guys are out there continuing to support me on this journey, and I want to do the same for you. So that's going to do it for me this week. But before I go, I have 2 new princess inspired skirts from Team Sparkle. I have the Belle inspired rose stained glass and the Rapunzel inspired. So I'm very excited because this is Princess Month. The Princess virtual half marathon is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited to see what everybody's gonna do when they're down at Walt Disney World or wherever you're gonna be running your virtual events for that. But guys, thank you again so much for being here. My question for you today is this: how have you adapted a training plan, either currently or in the past? And if you have, what did you do? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions for future videos in the comment section down below. Hit that like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and tell your friends. Until I see you on the next one, remember, you have no limits. May the force be with you, and happy running. So much more sense. Oh guys, just don't try to use math to explain running. Runners